More like chanting. And so it is done.
Welcome, Alice.
I'll try to get my virtual backgrounds to work.
Our eyes are open.
And so open me.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do this. So this is the third installment?
Good. And we're here today talking about Eyes Wide Shut, which was
What?
by Alice.
I'm so glad this is number 3. Like, as soon as I realized that it was December, December was coming, I was like, oh man, I should have picked that for number 2. But no, this is great.
No, especially for this month, yeah.
Very good.
It's very appropriate. Yes, excellent. Sorry, my voice felt very muffled. So,
Is everybody here, Alex?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's here.
Everyone's here.
Heaven's here somewhere.
Ivan.
where the hell is Evan? I'm surprised Lonnie didn't get on this one, but
No,
my
he
God!
did the mask
Okay,
too.
yeah, there he's masked.
Wait, did you see our mask?
That's perfect. Yeah, hold on. We gotta. I'll mask back up.
Yeah,
again.
look, we got the other too.
We felt like our. Felt like my voice was kind of muffled, but no, that's brilliant. Did you make that?
Yeah, I made it like half an hour before we started.
Well, you are an artist, sir. So.
I am so glad you guys all wore your masks too. Holy fuck. I was worried I was going to be the only one.
That would have been awkward.
Even Santa Duck has a mask.
Before we get started, I do have to just confirm something real quick. What is the password?
Fidelio. And what's the password for the house? There is no password for the house.
First rule about Eyes Wide Shut Club.
I mean, I'll be real. The first time I saw that years ago, as blown away as I was watching it, I still would have like gone with that one. Like, there is no password.
Like,
I would have just said the same thing.
That's always the best answer.
Yeah, obvious trick question.
Yeah, because you can BS your way. Even if there is one, you can be like, well, I guess somebody tricked me there, dog. You know, I'm still up in here. You know,
With the pageantry out of the way, welcome to the third movie club, talking about Eyes Wide Shut tonight by Stanley Kubrick, 1999, featuring or starring Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
At the height of their like Hollywood couple like power. I mean,
Yeah.
they were like
Famous
the-
Scientologist.
Yeah, well, him, and I don't think she was ever really into it, but you know, yeah, they were a huge deal. I mean, at that time,
Yeah.
and of course, you know, rumors rampant.
Yeah, but before we get too deep into it, Mr. Lazy Phalanges, he's the host of the cinema club that we're doing. Thanks for hosting us this evening. To his left, we have Mr. Chancellor Ruster of Catch Fire.
Good evening.
And
the full flavor.
And the
full
full flavor. Speaking of full flavor, we also have joining remotely, we have the Neef, also of the full flavor.
Captain of the full flavor.
Captain Flavor.
hello again, Alice.
Captain Flava himself has graced us. And we also have the great and powerful Evan Carpenter of Behind the Curtain infamy as well. And then on the couch over here, we have Pull Over Media, Miss Cheyenne. And to her left, Knife Back, David Penna.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyone have anything coming up they want to plug?
No shows. Recording.
Hell yeah. Actually, I just saw, it's funny, I know this and you don't. You have a show January 10th at 5 Spot.
Oh, the Catch Fire does?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
I have to plug.
Yeah.
Cheyenne recently did a video, helped with a video for an artist.
Oh yeah. I did.
Yeah, plug.
Sorry, it's been a weird one. Yeah, Nikki.
Yeah, shout out to Mickey Brave Boy. Y'all actually shot that right over there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for that spot. It was a good spot. It was really eerie and cool. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And she makes really wonderful, great music. So.
Hell yeah. If you ever need super pro video or photography, check out Pull Over Media with a 3 for the E on Instagram. Yeah.
I did video.
Hell
You pull over? You pull people over?
I can.
Nobody gets pulled over.
I've been thinking about this movie like nonstop since we watched it.
It does that to you.
Yeah,
Like it really does.
it's. I don't know where to start, so I'm gonna step away for a second and I'll.
Yeah, I don't even know either, except like maybe we should start with like the first time that you remember seeing it again, like that kind of helps.
Let's start with, is this anyone's first time seeing it?
Yeah, there you go. This was your first time? Oh, okay, right on. So what do you think?
So David, do you have any overall thoughts? What you expected maybe going in, what it was like?
No, I had zero expectations just because I didn't like bother looking anything up. However, I am a Kubrick fan, which I did enjoy, and I did feel like Kubrick was messing with the actors a lot, which is another like favorite trait of his.
Yeah.
It was good enough that like it ruined their relationship. The going back into the movie itself, though, like I really my favorite part was actually like the first half, maybe 1/3 of the movie, before like the whole big reveal of like the big party. Just because of like how weird, ambiguous, like everything felt, and like how hard he was like trying to be like the main character was trying to be like he was just so full of himself. He felt like he was going around telling everyone, I'm a doctor. Oh, my wife's having these thoughts. Well, I'll actually fuck other women, which he doesn't even accomplish.
Yeah, that's not a bad point.
Can I interject real quick on what you're saying? There's a part where he's talking to Nick, the piano player, and he's like, I never did understand why you walked away. And he's like, really? I do it all the time. And like the part he doesn't say, but is there is like, you should try it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that is definitely a precursor
Huh.
for the whole rest of the movie.
I never thought about
This, he cannot walk away. He cannot turn down because he's got to be included. He's got to
Right,
be,
right,
yeah.
right.
And Nick's thing is like, he knows when to hold. You gotta know when to hold
Know
them.
when to fold them.
Know when to fold.
Yeah.
them.
Well, because he
And
knows
he's
his
a blindfolded
position.
piano player, yeah.
He knows his position, and for whatever reason, what is the main character's name? I forgot.
Bill.
Yeah, he just doesn't know his place.
Hmm.
At least in the very beginning, the first half, he doesn't know his place.
See, and I agree with that. I think that like at the start, they're very innocent. Like I always took it to be that they're a very innocent like couple. You know what I mean? They're not part of anything that's decadent or nefarious or in any way like other than what just straight society does. You know, and this may even be the first time that they've come to this particular Christmas party, even though they've been invited to that.
Yeah.
And yeah, he is very like just much like a blank slate and very naive. Kristen, this was the first time she saw it too. And so like her reaction to it the whole time was pretty interesting. And yeah, like the first time you watch it, you have no idea where it's going to go. So at the first, it feels like this kind of relationship drama. And then it's like, then there's no more Nicole Kidman. And then it's just this guy like following this trail kind of, you know, and at one point when I watch it, I think like, oh, he's just trying to solve the murder. But no, he's just an idiot, like following like nothing. From nothing to nowhere, bouncing from scenario to scenario with no reaction to anything that happens.
I mean, he does react, and I feel like they all are purposeful with the whole like kind of title of I Watch Shut.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I feel like there definitely was a lot of purpose in all the places he did go, and he was like trying to find answers.
Sure.
I guess it was kind of noting to like, yeah, it was noting to like he wants to know the truth, but he doesn't want to know the truth.
And he doesn't see
Yeah.
right in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he like sees it, but he doesn't really want to.
Right.
So it's kind of that like
He's searching with his eyes closed.
And by the end, the Lex Buck line, they take the wrong message from it. They took the completely wrong like conclusion for this entire
yeah.
scenario. You know, I mean, that's a valid conclusion that they reached, but unfortunately, that's just the baseline human American conclusion of just like, well, let's get back to the sex. Like,
Yeah.
Like
That's
we
really
should throw our own weird parties.
yeah, right.
better ones.
We
We'll
should
show
be
them.
more outgoing but you're right too. It's like she just tells him about a thought scenario that she played out, and she does it in a way in order to make him understand that like you can't read my mind. You don't know what I'm thinking. You're so confident in I'm a man and I know what women are thinking.
And like your perspective. And
Yeah. But like here's what I actually thought. But then when she gets to the end of that whole monologue and she says, I was relieved, like I love how that kind of brings her back to like, look, I do love you and I am dedicated to you, but that doesn't mean that I don't think about other things, you know what I mean? And don't have deep emotions about this stuff.
yeah.
Evan, have you seen this before, or is this your first time seeing it?
This was my second time seeing the movie. First time I saw it was just a few months ago, though, so it wasn't really, I didn't have the context for it growing up. It was cool though.
What
Just
did
the
you
story
like?
of a man looking for love in all the wrong places. I love it.
Yeah, like costume shops with crazy Russians and
Yeah. Yep.
like how that scenario just changes on a dime, where it's like the first time he's pissed off and you can see his like transactional nature when he first is like, I'll give you $100 to let me in. He's like, no, I don't think so. I'll give you $200. Okay. And then you see how he just turns that right around on his daughter. So fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, that Russian pimp who owns the costume store. It was a pretty bad muchacho.
Yeah.
I do agree though. Like it was cool to see him kind of like navigating this like soulless transactional world. You're totally right. Like yeah. No, that scene really kind of stuck with me too, man. Like you could tell that some shady shit went on in the background, and it's just like the shady shit going up on this top level. Sometimes the people without the money, they just gotta get laid in the back room of a clothing store. I don't know.
And him being a doctor, like with his like clinical detachment, like versus his like, it's pretty clear that he has like compassion for this one woman that he is fixated on, that he realizes like possibly sacrificed herself for him. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't think he's a bad person necessarily. Like, I think he
does feel like guilt and sort of like a drive to find out what happened to this person. So it's there's a lot of layers to this film, man. Like there's so many more than like just, again, the first time I saw it and then up to now, there's so many ways you can look at it.
Do you think that he would care about her specifically if he didn't feel like he was responsible for that?
I don't know. Like based on what we see of his character, probably not. Like, you know what I mean? Because I don't think he was really looking for anything extramarital. I think he was like didn't know what he was looking for when he went out into the night, you know. But like maybe he was testing himself to see if he was capable of that, kind of like the vanishing or whatever. But like I don't know, like because we never see him like he's always saved by the bell. Every time he's in a situation where he could make a choice that, like he could go with the girl to the end of the rainbow, or he could make out with the girl whose father just died and, end up sleeping with her. But every time he's saved by the bell. So we never actually see a hint of what choice he would make.
Personally, I feel like, I think it was like throughout the first half, I feel like he had good intentions. And then he started to become more selfish within himself and like egotistical in a way where he wasn't seeing like the girl who was beaten up by the father. Like he literally could have got help for that girl.
But he's driven to go to the
He's
party.
driven, yeah.
And it's the layers, like I was saying to Alex earlier, it's the layers of the society, you know what I mean? He goes out into the night at first, and it's like at first he could sleep with somebody who is affluent and in his social circle, but not part of the cult. But then he realizes that can totally nuke his entire life. So then he goes to like a streetwalker who nobody would ever know that he slept with a hooker. But that just seems, too low and too kind of dirty or whatever. So then it's like he goes from that level to the next level of opulence. He goes and looks for his friend, the piano player, because he remembers that he told him that he played at this, club and stuff. And it's like he is on a quest initially. I don't know if he's on a quest to like cheat on his wife necessarily, but he is definitely on a quest for some sort of like emotional catharsis after she unloaded on him in that scene.
And very next thing after the amazing, let's hover on that for a second.
Yeah.
The fucking amazing scene.
Yeah.
Where she gets high and just overacts like no one acts like that when they're stoned, but like the way the dialogue, that I love that scene so much. But after that, very next thing that happens, he goes and makes that house call, and the woman just throws herself at him.
Right.
So here you have this opportunity, right?
Right.
Like here if you want to cheat on your wife, like this is the perfect chance to do so, and he doesn't. No, you're good. He doesn't take her up on it.
Right.
Yeah, and she was like extremely vulnerable, so that would have been.
Yeah, and it does sort of speak to he's not a bad guy,
Yeah.
but yeah. But again, that's what I'm saying.
No,
is,
I think towards the end he is. For sure.
Yeah, there's a certain level of negligence. I don't think he's like a malicious person, but there is a certain level of negligence where you are accountable.
And you are like not doing anything is doing something.
Yeah, I'll say this: he's certainly not a good person.
Yeah.
Right, because we have the situation in the costume shop where it's like, okay, if he's not trying to bust the party because it's fucked up. He's just curious, right? Yeah. Because if he was trying to do something good, there is a situation with this costume shop where it's like this child needs help.
Right.
Like you could go to the police, like you could, if you want to make a positive difference, which Neef, if you want to jump in here, Neef made a really good point the other day. It is very relevant that he's a doctor because of the Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah.
He has a sworn duty to
do no harm.
To do no harm, and also to save those in danger, which I mean, like, I guess that's kind of like, that's not exactly what a doctor is supposed to do, but it does ride that line, right? It's like these are
Well, one of the things that I was getting into with that is because of the overarching theme of the movie when it comes to a separation of society, you can call it class or whatever it is, you have this couple and him as a doctor, you have so many doctors that are doctors because of the money and the prestige, not because of the Hippocratic Oath,
Mhm.
you know. And I really think the entire overarching with both of them is that to watch them as characters in this film, you really have to walk straight down the line of them as people, because neither of them are very good people.
Right.
You know, they're not nearly as corrupted or messed up as maybe a lot of the people in that echelon of living, you know, because that's a certain money level. You can get into which type of professions were going on through that movie and who he was talking to. And, but that, because it's this society that's separated, nobody's supposed to know that. Well, it's because that's not the important thing. The idea is it's that certain echelon. You can be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a hooker. You know, there's a level of honor, if you will, going on, even though the honor is based with, you know, a gun at your back, you know, kind of thing. So,
Oh, sorry.
you know, he's what I was seeing from him is he's skating this line of, you know, question, yeah, like she says in the beginning, why do we get in? Why does he invite you to these things? I mean, you can jump deep into it about, you know, maybe he's trying to be pulled into something. But if you just look at it on the surface, that is him questioning or being questioned by his wife as they're building this family. He doesn't really understand, and I don't think she understands. The question there is, what are you building this life of ours in the direction of? You know, why is he inviting you to these things? Everybody here, you don't know these people here. They all seem superficial. Is that what we are? Is that what we're becoming?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or are we feeling indifferent about it because we're not going to become that way? You know, or we don't want to, or we're resisting it, you know?
Yeah. See, going into this, like I've seen this film a few times now, and like three and a half basically. And the first time I watched it was years ago with you. I watched it a long time ago, maybe like a decade ago. And I was aware of this movie before I saw it because it's kind of a meme. It's like an eyes wide shut party, right? That's like everyone knows what that means, even if you haven't seen
Right.
Eyes Wide Shut, or it's a term, right? Like, so that's my context going into the movie is like, okay, so my initial takeaway is our eyes are shut to the injustices in our society, and we all turn a blind eye to, like, for perfect example, we watched this movie. This is making you aware. It's a little bit activist. Like, it's kind of making you aware that this happens at like high levels.
Mhm.
Like we've all heard of Bohemian Grove, Epstein.
Right.
Epstein, like this movie's a little prophetic, right?
Yeah.
Because now it's like, well, the whole
It's
world
weirdly.
is aware of this fucking pedophile.
Right.
Right. So that was my initial takeaway: is our eyes are shut to the injustices in the world. Watching it again, I'm like, yes, that is true. But another note here is just relationships, right? He is not like the very first scene where they're getting ready in the bathroom and she's like, how do I look? And he's not looking at her. She's like, you look great.
Yeah.
Right.
Not intended.
And then later on, it's like, he's like, I'm not jealous of you. And she's like, why the fuck not? And she delivers the great, he's like, well, maybe because you're my wife and the mother of my child. And I know you wouldn't ever do something like that. And she's like, you are very sure of yourself.
Yeah.
So good. But that's another thing. It's like, why aren't you jealous of her? Like, show her some attention, like treat her like the prize that she is.
Yeah.
Like, just look at her.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you have like she isn't like she's not just hot, like she's a good partner to him.
Right.
Like, and he takes her for granted. And I think that's another big part of the eyes wide shut thing. Is you can't really have relationships with people if you refuse to engage with them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a really good point too. That's what I mean about like the layers of the film. It's not even so much that like there's different interpretations, although there are, like there's totally different movies happening all at once, kind of, you know, because yeah, the message on the relationship front is very much that, I think too.
Mhm.
To like not take your partner for granted, and how to actually listen to somebody and not just assume that you know what they're thinking, you know. And it's just in that one scene too, it's so well done that, you know, she only appears essentially like at the beginning and the end of the movie. And
Oh, sorry.
no, you're good.
I was wondering, okay, I think I have like two things, and I hope I say this the right way. I was wondering, like, me and everybody else, like, what did like you guys initially think throughout like that argument? Like the way that she was like coming at him.
When I was young and I saw this the first time I saw it, I was like 18. I just remember thinking like, oh my god, what a bitch. And like not understanding at all like what was happening, you know, because I hadn't really had even like a long-term relationship in my life at that point, you know. Like, I mean, I had girlfriends, but it wasn't like that. That was me watching it then. Now it seems so justified, and also like it's the best explanation like you could ever get in a scene of you can't possibly know what another person is thinking.
If I can break in,
Yeah.
real quick. This is a little bit like a chauvinist thing to say, but it's like, yeah, she is being a bitch to him. Like that's like she's being really mean. You shouldn't say things like that. And this is the chauvinist part. He is at least partially responsible for her behavior.
Yep.
Like she is acting like that because of how he's acting.
Right.
Right. And it's like if he treated her better, she wouldn't be acting like this.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily excuse it, but he has at least like half of the culpability for the issues that they're having in their relationship.
Yeah, like he saw her dancing with the man at the party earlier. I mean,
And she wanted him to
clearly
be
uncomfortable.
jealous.
Yeah, and he just,
Yeah.
in his mind, he's like, well, she trusts me and I trust her, and we're here just having fun. But no, that shouldn't be how it is. He should absolutely be breaking away from those women and going to get his wife. Not because she's fucking up, but because he loves her and he values her.
She doesn't feel seen. She doesn't feel appreciated.
Right. By
Yeah.
him. She feels seen and appreciated by every
Yeah.
other man in the room, and
Yeah.
she knows it. She doesn't give a fuck about those guys.
And Alex, you said half of it was that. Let's not forget that the other half is weed.
Really old weed from
The
a
weed is
Band-Aid
what did you
tin.
say?
The weed is making you aggressive.
making you aggressive.
Yeah.
Reefer madness, man. Reefer
We
madness.
were talking in the car earlier on the way here about like that's some old weed. That
Yeah.
looks like some swag.
Yeah,
like
it
it's
did.
brown and
Yeah.
like that's just it looks gross.
It was all shredded,
That's
it
why
was
I think
all-
they're
Yeah.
squares. I feel like that's like the way that they get down in secret. You know what I mean? Like even though he's a doctor, like they're not. I don't
Yeah.
feel like she's a drug taker necessarily.
And you
like,
know they were paid too.
you know,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
paid like $100 for that swag.
you see her
If-
smoking
if-
cigarettes, but you don't really see her drinking. Like
If I can chime in on that note, when this film came out, movies weren't showing weed use
realistically,
in any way realistically, unless it might be a comedy.
Yeah.
And I mean, while, you know, and a lot of with this, and especially with a lot of Kubrick, there's so many things that you can try to read into because you can never tell if every single thing was specifically done that way, you know, because it's nice to think that, but a lot of times we find that that's, you know, you still have censors and you still have other people involved in the film that are going to be like, you know, them pulling out a fat, nice, real looking bud and sitting down breaking it up, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that aside, one of the key things with that scene is, and I didn't understand this. The first time I saw it was at my first studio in my mid-20s, early mid-20s. It was right after I knew what was up with Kubrick's films, but I didn't have much frame of reference to the story. And I had just gone through a pretty major breakup, so it was really not a good time for me to watch this film.
yeah.
And so I saw it very much for what I've now learned that the book that he based the idea from is very much about a the I want to say instinctual jealous drive that can happen with couples like that. And we're talking about early, the very beginning of the film, you know, there's a lot going on in the dialogue there, but if you know Kubrick, there's a reason he chose to have them in the bathroom and her come in and be like sitting down taking a piss.
Hmm.
And it's to show the mundaneness of a marriage that has gotten, you know, to where, and I don't say mundane in a negative way, it's just that comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, and so by her bringing the sparking this instinctual anger up in him that he didn't have before because he was very passive, very complacent, you know,
Yeah.
and it kind of goes into human nature. It's like you could say, you could theorize who it came from in each of them, but, you know, or whether or not the herb did it to her. But whatever it was, her bringing that up to him in that way, um, sparked an instinctual drive in him that he had never really had to deal with before because he hadn't really had to think about, you know, that's why it keeps cutting to the scene of her, you know, with this captain, this, you know, this
And
pilot
it's
or whatever.
imagining something
Yeah,
that didn't even happen. Like,
right. And so that starts this obsession, and it's, I always looked at it as, while I won't deny a lot of the overlying themes in it that he was probably trying to get across, which is probably why it was one of his last movies. Um, I think the
look at it.
initial idea in the story is that that line, the same line I was talking about before, of where are they gonna, you know, what lifestyle is he looking to get into? Is he gonna keep running this desire to like his what's his name, the piano player? You know, I could never understand why you walked away.
Yeah.
You know, and him to say, you know, you should try to walk away from a lot of things is saying, you know, you get so caught up in society and we're so domesticated that your instincts will get you fucked up. You know, it's fight or flight, and you really should be flight a lot of times, but your curiosity and your lust gets you going for fight, you know. He's, you know, so it's like, is it the Hippocratic oath that makes him kind of moral, or is it him being kind of pompous and cocky and pissed off that he's feels like he can get duped, you know? And so there's a lot of you know, this the and then the couple of times I watched it since then, you know, I watched it and I would typically be just watching a lot of the screenplay or the camera in it because that's what I do with a lot of Kubrick.
Yeah.
So this last time I really was looking into a lot more of the his actual writing because I didn't, you know, we didn't have the internet like that. I couldn't just pull up Wikipedia and find out the book he wrote it on and or based stuff on it. So it really lined up, gave me some, you know, more perspective on it, but it lined up some of the original things. If you're looking at it just as a story, not as a message he was trying to throw out there, which I'm not saying that I don't think that's the case. I'm just saying as the story itself to analyze it. And as I was saying, I was talking about this before, and I'm kind of wrap up myself because I got to get going. I'm gonna continue watch y'all. But I was talking about earlier how Kubrick did it so noir that every theory that we can sit and talk about it, nothing can be proven because the story didn't close. You know, so there's no way to say, yeah, that's actually what's going on. You know, and I think the main idea of it is that when you look through it as a mystery, every single character other than him could actually be involved and be in the know and be part of the trick, you know, be part of what's going on. And it leaves you with no ability to solidly determine that about really anybody, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that was another of his overarching messages when it comes to power level and echelon like that, that
Trust no
it's
one.
so overreaching that you couldn't imagine, or all that you could imagine is possible, you know.
Yeah, something like, for me, the implications, it's like we never really know exactly what is going on
Right.
with the cult.
Right.
But it feels like whatever you're thinking, it's worse. Right?
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's huge.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah.
And it like infinitely so. And you're not like, it feels like anything you could possibly come up with is worse than that.
Mhm.
That's how it feels.
Yeah. And then that last scene where Ziegler like spells it out for him, and then he's like, and then it was all fake. But was it real? You know what I mean? Like that's literally exactly how they do.
He
Like,
gives him an opportunity to shut his eyes.
yeah,
Right. It's
exactly.
like, you're looking into this. What if I told you?
Yeah, it was all bullshit.
It's just
But
a
it's
prank,
not.
bro.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a prank. Oh my god!
You
You
can
should have
shut
seen
your
your
eyes.
face.
Yeah, right. Okay, so what was your other question? You had two questions. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, my take on that was
Yeah.
kind of like, so like, I feel like it, from an outsider's perspective, right? Like, let's just say you just watched that scene. I feel like it'd be so easy to write her off.
Hmm.
Like, she is a complete
Which
bitch for
scene?
that.
Just being irrational. The Nicole Kidman scene. Like
The
coming
cop
back to
scene?
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is easy to write her off as sounding irrational, but the more time
No,
you
I
see
just
it,
mean
the
this like,
more-
oh,
yeah.
she's a bitch.
Right.
Like, I feel like it painted her as like, it had a great way of painting her as like very manipulative and like kind of underlyingly like mischievous,
Mhm.
and kind of gave a lot of negative notions like towards her.
Mhm. Yeah, because you don't
And I
see
feel like
him
he was
being.
kind of trying to like, I don't know, maybe make a deal of that. How it's so easy to kind of see someone that's like reacting like that in a manipulative way as like bad when underlyingly like there's something going on.
Like the way that he treated her
Like
is directly
psychologically,
contributed to
yeah.
why she's acting that way.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's like she's acting that way for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
This isn't out of nowhere. This
Right.
is like, and maybe the weed caused a confrontation,
Mm.
right? Where it's like, but that was always there.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
was always, or at least for a while, it had been beneath the surface. But you get comfortable. You get in like mindsets in a relationship where it's like routine, and it's like, yeah, definitely like substance can shake that up, where it's like all of a sudden you are maybe like a little bit more confrontational than usual, but that doesn't mean that that was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
that absolutely came from, and it's, at least for me, it's like, it's really understandable how she got there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that, yes, she was being rude and disrespectful to him, and she was like being really hurtful and mean. Like it was cruel what she was doing. But it's also like, again, like he is so fucking clueless that at a certain point it's like, yeah, you're kind of a piece of shit. Like I understand that you're not trying to be a bad guy, but at a certain point it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah. And I
Like,
think
you're
was
too
hurt.
fucking oblivious.
She was hurt by him not intervening in that dancing sequence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the more I think about that too, like you see her look over at him.
We should
Like,
also.
You see me, right? You know, and he's just whatever.
Also,
We should, oh, yeah.
sorry, I was just gonna say it real quick. Shit, the other night at the party, those two girls, you didn't happen to, did you by chance happen to fuck them?
Her
Great delivery.
And he's
yeah.
like, And she's like, you disappeared. And he's like, hey, no, I had to go do a thing. And then, and I didn't think about this with this now. And then he says, who is that guy you were dancing with?
Yeah.
So he did see her.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
confirmation
Yeah.
that he did see
Yeah,
her.
and he was aware of it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
we should get into the.
And she laughs. She immediately like starts laughing because it's like, oh shit.
Mhm.
Yeah. We should get into the, do we think she was like drugged? As well as,
Yeah.
something else I wanted to say, just like a little theory to throw out there. Do you think if that she went to the costume shop with him, that he would have gotten the police involved if she was
Oh
there?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's just sad that what I'm trying to say is like, that's what it would take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
he
his
wouldn't
quest
do it
should
himself.
have, could have, and should have ended there. Instead of him going from there to the party, like, again, if he was practicing his actual Hippocratic oath, he would have seen that and done something about that situation, and his evening would have ended there, and the movie would have ended there. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he had an opportunity to. It's almost like it almost feels like a divine test. It's
Yeah,
like the devil
because
is
she is so enticed. She's smiling, she's inviting, she's whispering in his
Yeah.
ear.
the devil is present all throughout the film, and when I
Yes.
say that, I mean like tarot card like temptation.
Yeah.
Like temptation is present.
Yeah.
So often in the film, it's like constantly he is presented with temptation,
Mhm.
and he's saved by the bell, which like I have some like similar like paranormal experiences like with temptation and the devil, and that like it hits really close to home for me.
Yeah.
But also there's opportunities to do something good.
Right.
Like
Well,
God is present.
what's weird is in the
Right.
Bible, it even says that God will never allow you to be tempted any more than your ability to resist.
God,
the
yeah, God will
temptation.
not give you anything more than you can handle.
Exactly.
basically.
Yeah, paraphrasing,
Yeah.
but yeah, absolutely. And that is the nature of temptation, is there is always an out. It just might seem harder, but really it's not, you know. And I mean, and also the message too is that we all fall for it. At some point, there's a way to get to everybody, I think,
Oh, everyone
too.
can be compromised.
yeah.
That's a uncomfortable reality about human nature.
Mhm.
Is that either through positive conditioning or negative conditioning, anyone can be compromised.
This is a really interesting conversation, but we bring back to the.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
I'm sorry, my bad. No, you're right. You're right.
Rabbit hole.
Hey,
yeah,
thanks
yeah,
for
yeah,
that's what
That's
that's
why we
like
have-
a little
that's
thing
fun.
we like to call tard wrangling.
Yeah.
Lazy, you see, is somewhat of a tard wrangler.
An
I'm gonna get you a cowboy hat.
All right.
I'm gonna get you a cowboy hat and a lasso.
All right. David, did you?
Y'all, I gotta I'm gonna step out real quick while we're taking a moment to and say later I will I'm gonna continue to watch y'all. I've gotta run off somewhere and I gotta go play guitar blindfolded, but I can't talk about it too much. Um,
Just shoot me the address real quick, and we'll see you later.
Yeah,
Thanks, Nate.
yeah. And remember,
After two.
there is no password.
Okay, good. I was gonna ask.
Yeah, give me the password. I'll share it with everyone.
And Alex, you would go to that party and go straight up to him.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, if I was there, I would like. Anyway, sorry, Lazy. You were saying. You're
no.
trying to wrangle cars.
Bring it back to the
back.
actual film. Yeah.
I'll do. David, did you chime in with how you felt about that? The scene with Nicole Kidman.
Because this was the
Uh,
first
they-
time I saw it too. So.
How you felt about that, and how it maybe even how it framed the rest of the movie, or was that an important scene? What are your thoughts on it?
I do think it was an important scene. I think it was important because, like earlier we said, the eyes wide shut isn't just about. I feel like we have two movies going on at the same time, or two different things going on at the same time. I never read the book that this is based off, but apparently the book is like very old, and it was even older than like all the conspiracy theories. So I wouldn't be surprised if the book was more focused on the relationship aspect. Yeah, and that's kind of what you got in the first like 1/3 or maybe like half of the movie in general. The other half of it is like kind of like the whole conspiracy thing, and in a way I actually preferred that
The first half of the second.
the first half.
Yeah.
Like I would actually watch a whole movie of just this relationship stuff going on, and like Bill confronting this and having his like crashing out moment because of like
Mhm.
what she told him or whatever, something he's never like even thought about.
Yeah.
And it's like to the point where like even the second half, like going into the sex cult and all that, like that part just got annoying to me. It's like, oh yeah, it's so stereotypical, whatever, it's whatever. But it's not as
Okay.
interesting. It's not as
David sees those every weekend.
oh, just conspiracy stuff, whatever. But it's not as interesting as like this dynamic of like a relationship going on and like what you're ignoring that's like right in front of you, and it ruins like so many relationships.
I just want to say it's only a cliche because of Eyes Wide Shut. though.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
that kind of like high society masquerade is the reason it's such a cliche is because
This,
of Eyes Wide
this
Shut.
put it
Yeah,
in the zeitgeist in a way that it was not before at all. Exactly,
I
yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah, this is like the cornerstone of that meme, and that like sort of conspiracy. theory,
I
which is
actually feel
crazy.
like it's so important.
But well,
about the
and he's
conspiracy
not wrong that the two things are happening like at the same time, and they are like two different sort of like stories like happening side by side, and you can take a lot from like the relationship commentary as well. And then I think Kubrick was using it as an avenue to get
To get to that
into-
second
to
aspect.
get into that where I mean I don't know this, but it feels like he was trying to tell people something. Like he was using his platform, his soapbox to say, look, this is something that's happening every day on every level of our society, whether it's on the street with the hookers or in the,
That's a great
corridors of
point.
power.
He's showing you every level of sex trafficking.
Mhm.
He's
It's
showing
right
you
in
the
front of you.
highest level of sex trafficking
To the lowest.
to the lowest, and also like
To
They're
the
all
rich
being-
people drugging women at their parties, like
Yeah, they're all being taken advantage of.
absolutely,
All
yeah.
of them.
I mean the most
Even the highest.
upsetting part of the movie is the kid, right? Like the kid in the costume shop. Like the most chilling. It's one of my favorite shots in the movie. Is if it's okay, I think we should talk about like we've been talking about like theme and like the story, but we should also talk about like how it was shot because it's such a well made film.
Yeah.
Also, but one of my favorite shots in the whole movie because it's just so chilling and like soul crushing is when he comes back to the costume shop to return the costume, and when the little girl comes out, she just got this like big grin on her face, and like it to me at least, it is like such a cry for help.
Mm.
It is like she doesn't even like she's not processing.
She doesn't even realize it.
She's not processing how fucked up the situation
She
is.
thinks it's normal. It's so normalized. That's why that shot is just like she's like smiling, but it's so sickening because she has no idea because it's so preconditioned inside of her.
Yeah,
And that's what's terrible. And I feel like, sorry if I cut you off that way, but I feel like literally those transitions from like the kid to even the women in the sex cult, like I feel like that's like a whole like do they actively actually want to be there or like you like obviously not, but like the whole preconditioning thing. I feel like it's a whole take on repression and preconditioning.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the costume shop guy is it's crazy how they got the same actor from the Phantom Menace that is sells Anakin to Qui-Gon Jinn.
Wait, what? Are you serious? He played that like
Yeah, dude, obviously they look identical.
Oh,
Jedi mind tricks don't work on me, only my
Evan, don't fall for his bullshit. Don't fall for it.
So you're saying
Cue,
that
cue the Kirby Air Ride song.
you're saying this is a Creed issue, right? I don't know.
I'm saying,
I know.
I'm saying his nose was huge.
The Russian Cossack, or I mean, a Russian Jew, as opposed to a
Chance.
space Jew.
Get your mind.
I
out
know,
of the
I
gutter.
know. Hey man, George Lucas designed that character. I had nothing to do with it or the accent.
Paul,
Watto.
the fucking bug-eyed.
Yeah, dude, yeah, the Twigarian.
I think Evan, did you have any thoughts? And then also, I think Cheyenne, you said you had a second question also.
Well, I have a question about the movie as well, but it's kind of a non sequitur. Do I have any thoughts about the Nicole Kidman smoking weed scene or the costume shop scene?
Oh, I was just. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say that, or if you had any thoughts about still relevant to the plot of the movie as opposed to production.
Okay. Yes, I do actually have one kind of thing I want to ask you guys about in terms of like plot. So one weird small detail that I noticed was so Tom Cruise has that like weird like fantasy going on of like Nicole Kidman cheating on him with like a Navy man or maybe a pilot. I couldn't quite tell. I think it was a Navy man though. And then later on, she describes her dream that she had, and she talks about specifically like a guy in a Navy uniform going to town on her. But Tom Cruise had never mentioned his fantasy to her. So they shared this commonality in both of their weird, like depraved sexual fantasies. Did you guys notice that? Think anything of it?
We were actually talking about that earlier. Sorry. So, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, what I was gonna say is, so she tells him when she's smoking weed that she saw a man while they were on vacation in a naval uniform, and that she had a fantasy about that man. That's where
Oh, okay, gotcha. My bad. Yeah, I missed
you're
that.
right. He never says anything to her about anything, but later when she wakes up from the dream and she describes to Tom Cruise where remember he comes home and she's laughing while she's asleep, and then she wakes up and she immediately says it was a terrible dream, and you're thinking like, well, then why was she laughing? And she said he was fucking all these people and she was laughing at him watching her. But you wonder, like, did that happen to her, or is that a commentary on the audience as far as like, this is what you should be feeling during this orgy scene. These women in this scene are not enjoying this. You know what I mean? Like, you're presented it that way at first while he's just walking through the mansion, and then later on when he comes home and she describes to him what they're actually feeling. Maybe I was never clear on why she has that dream, but that's kind of where like Lazy and I landed on that earlier.
It's a good topic. I genuinely think she was there.
Okay. You think she was at the party
Yeah, that's my take.
the same night?
Oh, you think that gray-haired guy recruited her while they were dancing?
I feel like there are equal possibilities that she could have easily been
How
drugged
did
and
she know
abducted.
so many deep? Yeah, like what if she was already just like involved?
So we
Yeah.
were
Or already
talking about
involved.
this before
Yeah.
you
Ooh.
here. So basically, there's one of two things that make sense, right? Either she was there,
Mm.
or Kubrick is using her dream to explain how fucked up that kind of stuff is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and also like because she describes a fantasy sequence earlier in the film, and so now she's describing a negative dream sequence that she had. Does that make sense?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that makes a lot of sense. I could see it as being her physically there also, you know. I'm kind of like 50-50 on it, you know.
I think it's definitely up in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You-
I
you
could
think
just
she
be
was at
I
the
could just
party?
be projecting, but I definitely see her as like a victim
Mhm. Yeah.
because of the. Sorry.
My theory is she was not at that particular party, but she's been there before.
Mm.
Mm.
Something that's interesting is, I think you were wrong earlier, Chance. You said that was their first time going to the parties.
Mhm.
I think they've been to those parties before,
Mhm.
but they've always been drugged.
Mhm. And that's possible too.
yeah.
The MK
So-
Ultra stuff.
so-
like,
Oh,
that's
fuck.
totally
So one thing that was supposed to happen, those women were not talking to him because they were actually interested in him. It's
Mhm.
their job to move him somewhere else so that that guy can get to her. But because she's drugged, she never remembers what happened.
That's
And all the
entirely probable.
distractions.
Yes.
Bro, I didn't
But
even
this
think about
time,
that.
this time it didn't happen because he had to be called up to help out the guy.
Right. See, that's
And because he never got distracted by the girls and got taken away,
Uh-huh.
he had to go down back to the party. She sees him, and that's where she tells him, oh, it's I have a husband, blah blah blah, and doesn't
Uh-huh.
get taken away. But
Okay,
I feel like
it's happened every other year.
Every
just
other
not
year,
this-
not
That's
this year.
fucking interesting, man. That's
Can
You know who's the real victim in all of this movie? It's Tom Cruise.
Can
The most.
I piggyback on what David's saying?
yeah, man.
So the way when they're dancing from the moment he first introduces himself to her,
Mhm.
he never breaks eye contact.
He's just staring right at her. Yeah.
He's hypnotizing her.
Yeah.
He's lulling her, and the drugs probably have something to do with it. I do think she was drugged.
Yeah.
Our good friend Kristen DeVoy pointed that out when we
Yeah.
were watching it the
Yeah.
other day. She
Yeah.
couldn't make it tonight, but she pointed out
Yeah.
something I did not realize is that she is not just drunk in that scene.
Right.
She's acting way too fucked up
Yeah.
to just so drugs have something to do with it, but also subtle manipulation.
Mhm.
The way he is acting with her
Mhm.
lulls her into a trance. She's getting slowly more drowsy. She starts falling asleep.
Mhm.
She starts falling asleep on him while
And
they're
you can
dancing.
see her kind of fighting it, but
Yeah, he's lulling. It's very like Get Out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, wow,
it's,
man.
It's kind of chilling when you realize that like this is it's like a form of like mind hack
Mhm.
that he's doing. And then to contrast that with the scene where Tom Cruise gets called upstairs. I mean, I've watched it twice recently,
Mhm.
and that room is not a normal room.
The bathroom,
And my eyes-
sort of that they're in.
My eyes were shut to how weird that room was
Yeah.
the first time I watched it, because what you're focused on is what Tom Cruise is focused on.
Uh-huh.
This woman that needs help. You're
Yeah.
not looking at the stuff on the walls. There's something weird going on in this room.
Yeah.
This is not just a drug overdose.
Yeah.
This is, she is being brainwashed. That woman is being, and they're using drugs to aid it along, but there is a very sinister thing going on in that room when he gets called up there.
Mhm.
You know what's the most sinister and evil part of that room, dude? Is having an upholstered chair in the bathroom. It's nonsensical.
That's what I was saying.
Right.
It's like a sort of bathroom, but not
You're
really.
so right.
Like, yeah.
And it's
Ugh.
colored so like daydreamy.
Yeah.
You realize that? Like,
Yeah.
and it's colored so vibrant and daydreamy. And that's why I love
And you
about
know
it, 'cause
how
it's such
close
a contrast from
Kubrick
like
worked with
such
CIA, like
dark
MK Ultra.
undertone
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
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 Okay, different question.
Further emphasizes the like shit's happening right in front of you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. It's hidden in plain sight. It's like your eyes are wide open, but you don't see.
Do you what about the ballroom where they dance in with all the lights and stuff? Do you think like when
Oh,
I watched that scene, it felt very overwhelming to the eyes with all the lights and
Like Alex is saying, it's a hypnotic ritual, the whole thing. Yeah. And if you look in the background, there's the, I think it's the 9-pointed star, the star of Ishtar that's in the background over that whole scene.
And how easy it is, like for like, I don't know, this couple obviously had like sort of like everybody has vulnerabilities, but it's also like the cult mentality of like how easy it is to just get anyone, because everybody has their own vice or like their own kind of vulnerability that could be exploited or taken advantage of.
Mhm.
I think it's showcasing that literally anyone can be manipulated
Yep.
or drugged or so I just think that's like so important, because like in today's day, like people are like, oh, that would never happen to me until it happens to you.
Yep.
So
That's 100% true.
I just think that's so important to like.
I totally agree with you. He's telling you that regardless of who you are susceptible to this kind of coercion.
These dangerous,
The devil is subtle, man. And it's like, that's where we get into the occult aspects of this.
Yeah.
Because it's not just malicious, it's demonic. Like it's a cult. There's all this symbolism. There's all this occult symbolism. This is not just sex trafficking.
Right.
This is ritual.
Right.
Right.
The
There's
fear
so
is
much
part of it.
pageantry and
Yeah.
fear.
Pageantry is part of
That's,
it.
you hit the nail on the head. Fear is a huge part of control.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fear of disappointment, fear of lots of things. Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, his fear of missing out, like that's essentially what starts him down this whole fucking rabbit hole. is-
Curiosity is a fear of not knowing,
Uh-huh.
of not being included.
Yeah, like and that's what like always spoke to me of his like initial, and when I say innocence, I don't mean like innocent in the like normal term you would think of.
Naivete. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, he's square, he's bland, he's never done anything quote unquote that society thinks of as adventurous. You know what I mean? And so it's like he's driven to kind of go out into the night, and it's all part of him meeting that guy at that party. And this guy's like, huh, these parties that I play, you have no idea. You know, it's like he's got this one weird little thing that's out there. He doesn't even know if it's going to work. And you know, I don't know. And I do think the relationship thing, like to go to David's point, like that's what ties the movie back together is like in the end, their marriage is still sort of solid, but on the wrong foundation to begin with. You know what I mean? Like they're still faithful to each other by the end of the story, but they lose everything in the process essentially. And it's like you see the start of their downfall, or the start of their like the fact that that's the final focal point of their entire like experience in this, you know, is really tragic, especially when you think about the fact that he tells her like, yeah, listen, she's definitely dead. You know, like I'm pretty sure I was party to a murder or something, you know, and her response is, okay, yeah, we definitely did that. As our daughter is slowly ushered away by strange old men.
We should get into that towards
Yeah,
the end,
yeah,
I think.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, I definitely do want to touch on the conspiracy theory part,
the brainwashing stuff is really
the
strong.
Kubrick stuff we'll get into.
Yeah.
But
This time the brainwashing stuff really stuck out.
I think we
Like,
should
I hadn't
on
really
that.
made that MK Ultra like drugging mind connection before until now.
Yeah, I think we should save that for the end. The thing that I think we should do is, if anyone has anything else about just like the general plot of the movie, otherwise move more towards like scene compositions. So
Yeah.
I mean, Kubrick movies are, every scene is like amazing. You can be dissected.
there's definitely a lot to talk about there.
And they say he doesn't put anything in those frames without explicit intent, you know, so,
I think we're good on story stuff.
yeah.
Then I know Cheyenne is really interested in the use of color.
Yeah, I
Oh,
do love color.
Yeah,
but-
we started this episode in blue for a reason.
Yes.
And it's because when we watched it with Cheyenne, who knows a lot more about color theory than
I
do.
actually didn't get it this time, really. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. After watching this movie, it was very in my head after this movie. But
Me too.
so sorry,
Kristen,
Kristen.
why they were using the
Yeah,
blue,
why she brought up a great point that I feel like is really the right idea. She said the blue is like the truth, trying to like seep its way in, and I thought that was like so
It's
accurate and
constantly
so
outside the
wonderful.
windows of their
Yeah.
home every time they come in their home.
Yeah.
When he goes in the office to like hide the robe and the mask, like the whole room is just blue. Yeah.
Yeah, or I think the composition of the blue wall scene where he was with that guy and the guy is like going back and forth between the blue and he's like, or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's pretty cool. Another color sequence.
Well, even the
This
blue
is-
gate, like the gate, like guarding the truth, like if that interpretation.
Oh,
holds,
shit.
like,
yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
shit.
think about that.
When he goes back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And
That's
what were you
really
gonna
good.
say? Sorry.
Another thing, this is probably very blatant, but like the color red, danger, obviously. The main guy, he's red, like literally. The stop sign, very blatant red, like stop looking, like stop.
I love that scene when
That's-
he's following him.
That's actually my favorite still shot is when the guy's tailing him.
Yeah.
And because the first time I watched it, I didn't catch it. The second time, I'm like, ooh.
Stop sign right there. Yeah.
So creepy, so perfectly.
Yeah, because he's looking, that's in the point when he's looking into this. He's
Yeah.
trying to figure out what's going on. And the guy, he doesn't say anything to him. He just stops. He stops. He was walking, he stops. And then there's a stop sign right here.
So good.
And that's all the message you need
Yeah.
is we've given you 1 warning, we've given you 2 warnings. This is the 3rd warning we're giving you, and it's so subtle.
Yeah, and that shot tracks that guy like coming across the street, and then he just
Yeah,
like, yeah.
so
all those
good.
long tracking
I
shots.
love that. That's my favorite shot in the whole movie.
Yeah. That was really good.
That's why I used it for the poster. Is the dude next
That's
to the
perfect.
stop sign.
There's a lot of blue in the scenes with the girl, I believe, with the custom shot, right? I think so, yeah. So I feel like that's very blatant.
Yeah,
There's also the red staircase.
I don't remember that.
I wonder, like, when he goes to the piano, meets with like the piano guy.
Oh, when he goes down the
Yeah.
stair. Yeah. Mhm.
So
Okay.
yeah,
The lighting in that club too, yeah. And then, I mean, just so many long tracking shots, and I know, I'm fairly certain they shot these on a soundstage. I don't think that these are on actual streets, but like just, you know, anything that'll hold a shot for more than like 30 seconds is just like insanely captivating. And you know, say what you want about Tom Cruise, he does have like a blank slate face, kind of, where it's like,
perfect.
but
Oh,
you
he was
can,
perfect. For
Like
that.
the taxi rides,
yeah,
where he's sitting in the back
yeah.
in the dark, looking all cool.
That fucking dipshit is like rips $100 bill in half. It's like you'll get half,
Just,
you'll get half now and half when I come back.
that
It's
was
like,
actually crazy.
fucking dork. Dude.
and then
He's such a dork. The whole
the rich
movie.
people, they're like, are you the gentleman with the cab waiting? Like, I mean, just, yeah, again, he's an idiot. Like,
I feel like part of why I have such a hard time sympathizing with this character, like why I take Nicole Kidman's side and I'm so sympathetic to like her blowing up on him.
Yeah.
I think it is because I am incapable of having sympathy for Tom Cruise. It's like
But
it's like I
also-
don't recognize him as a person. Like I could watch him get skinned alive and I would feel nothing because I don't. Something about my brain does not recognize him as a human being.
And then he would be like, acting, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, like, he's just really like the most passive character I've probably.
Oh yeah.
almost ever
Well, and
seen.
it was great to watch it with a couple of ladies in the room too. One who hadn't seen it, and just like, because I mean, again, y'all's like reactions to things are just fucking priceless. Because yeah, like, I mean, there were times in the past where I would watch this and I would feel not sympathetic towards him, but like, well, he's not that bad of a dude. He's trying to do the right thing. No, he's not. He's a fucking idiot. Like,
Yeah,
he's a-
no, I
he's
kept,
a
I
blank pinball.
really
Like,
kept trying to give him the benefit of the doubt until that scene with the costume.
yeah.
Fuck
That's-
no.
yeah.
After that, I was like,
No,
no,
because he
you're
makes the
you are
choice
a
to
bad
keep
person.
going. Yeah, he makes the choice to
That
keep
is-
going on
I
his
feel
own
like-
personal little quest.
Yeah, I
instead
feel
of-
like that was literally the tipping point
Yeah,
of like, is he
agreed.
good or bad? That's fucking bad.
I totally agree with you. That is the scene where it's like you are beyond redemption. At this point.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You don't deserve to get
Yeah.
your wife back, even though she didn't have an affair on you in the first place, you moron. You know?
Yeah. A lot of it. What's that saying? That's like, in order for evil to win,
Good men do nothing.
good men do
Mhm,
nothing.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
well, you're not
that,
a good man if you do nothing.
that feels
right?
like
Yeah.
part of what Kubrick was
You
trying to say
can't be a
too.
good guy with your eyes shut,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
right? Like you can't just go through life. It's like, oh well, I didn't take part in it. It's like, yeah, but you didn't do shit either.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was
It's like you should have done
Watching.
something.
And he thinks of himself as a good person. He's a doctor. He's probably
That's
saved lives. Quote
such a
unquote.
great topic to bring up too. Like, do you think after like all this, he still obviously thinks he's like a
Of
good
course he
person?
does. Of
Yeah.
course he does.
Of
Or like
course he does.
people like
He
commit
learns nothing.
these
Yeah.
kind of
He learns
things. Yeah.
nothing
No.
the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end, like
It's so
that's their
sad.
catharsis.
It's so diluted.
He didn't learn what was going on, and he didn't learn any moral lessons either.
Right, exactly. He got to the bottom of no mystery, and like, it's not funny, but it is because again, like, there's so many comedic moments in this where you can look at it just on the baseline level. It's like, yeah, this is hilarious.
I mean, at some points, I like really tried to like in the beginning, I empathized like with the whole scene where there was obviously an undertone that was like something wrong was going on.
Mhm.
Like,
Just that opening
like,
ball scene.
I feel like we've all had moments in our lives where we were manipulated or couldn't really fully see what was going on.
Mhm,
So like it was easy to relate to him in that point, like a naivety to certain things.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
I
is
agree.
which in a sense like it's so easy to get fucking mad at him because of course you're gonna be like, oh, I would know, or I would do
Right.
that. Like it's so easy to like think like he thinks of himself as a good person. It's so easy to be like, oh yeah, I would do this thing. Like if I was there, I would have done it. But like in reality, you don't know.
No, I
Yeah.
totally agree with you, and maybe like I'm being very like I'm being very, very critical of him in
Yeah.
this movie. But I think it is because of what you're saying, I do think it is important to say also that all of us possess that aspect. Like the reason it makes me so uncomfortable is because I know that I do it too.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's there's a
To
piece,
certain extents.
there's a not nearly as
Yeah,
to that level.
No,
I
for
know
sure.
exactly
But
what
that
you mean.
character exists in all of us, and that's why he makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's so easy to get mad.
You're
at
absolutely
him.
right. It's not. It is hard for me to sympathize with it, but you're right there. Yeah.
Evan's background
sorry,
just changed
Evan.
to blue really quick.
Found
That,
the truth.
yeah.
Okay.
Saw a flash of blue in Evan's background. The truth came and it went.
That was me hypnotizing you guys to ruin your marriages.
Bless it, I knew it.
Damn.
Thank God not married.
I am a vessel.
Evan is the sailor.
Yeah. Evan's probably been to some Eyes Wide Shut parties. I imagine.
So there's that big middle Eyes Wide Shut party sequence that supposedly had a bunch of shit cut out of it. You know
What color are the drinks?
who? They're blue.
Tom Cruise did blue.
Yeah, which is weird.
That is a weird-
Wait,
Every time
Yeah,
he
they are.
sees
They're
that
blue.
shit in his head of her fucking the sailor, it's like
I
on
swear it
blue.
was Warm Town though.
Nope. It's
No,
red.
sure?
it's not. I'm sure.
It's
Okay.
very
Me and Alex.
We watched it the other night. Yeah.
It's red.
Wait, but then what? If it's blue, then what would that mean?
Well,
like,
you had a different theory about what blue meant at the time. I don't remember what it was.
Mhm.
oh, fuck, I don't know.
And
I think you were saying that it's sort of like cold. Like on here.
Um,
and maybe that's his like
loneliness, isolation,
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Loneliness and isolation. Yeah.
Like
Which
you
I
don't
think-
know.
repression.
I
is
think-
repression.
I do think both of these things are true.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
about truth.
Yeah.
But then in other times it is like this is like it's cold. It
Yeah,
feels
a soulless.
yeah.
and that's in his
It's also
mind.
like it's in December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's at the end of December when this movie's taking place.
Mhm.
So it's cold outside. It's in Manhattan, so it's like it's cold as fuck
Mhm.
outside. Even if it's not snowing, the implication is that it's cold as hell.
Yeah. You see him with those coats and like,
Yeah.
you know, the breath and stuff in there. I love those scenes of him just like walking the streets, just running this scenario over in his mind that just didn't even happen. You know, like that level of like insanity and mental illness is like there's so many warnings against like behavioral like issues in this too, you know, of just like little things, big things, like certain psychological like obsessions, and that's one of them too. It's like, you know, she wasn't even describing something that happened, like, but he just becomes obsessed with the thing.
David used blue to draw this guy behind us too.
That is
I'm
weird.
noticing.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah.
What are you trying to tell us, David? What did David mean? by this?
Excellent drawing, by the way.
I didn't have access to a big black market.
A big black. David loves big black.
It's staring right at me. It's freaking me out.
I know. I keep looking at it. It's looking at me. Oh, Miura.
And then, so in that ritual scene, that guy and the other masked person that turned to look at him seems like that's Ziegler and his wife who were at the party. You see them in the scene at the very first where they, you know, come into the party and he's standing there with his wife and she seems like she's very into the whole thing, whatever's going on.
I love that shot too, where he just not.
Yeah, like
He acknowledges them, and it does kind of seem like he sees right through this
Mhm.
motherfucker. He
Yeah.
knows exactly who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but it's like he sees right. Oh, actually, it makes total sense how he knows, because the fucking doorman,
mhm,
he showed up without
Mhm.
the mask.
Yeah. exactly.
Showed his face in
and-
a fucking taxi.
And you see
Showed up
the
in a fucking
camera, you
taxi.
see the camera outside the gate later on when he goes back during the daylight. It makes a point of like showing that camera. So I mean, yeah, they saw his face. Like,
They know exactly who it is. And when the dude brings him the ladder out, and it's like full name.
Yeah.
It's like we know exactly. Oh, well, okay. That gets into deleted scenes and conspiracy theory stuff. So maybe.
And
Yeah.
then he has to back all the way back up the driveway.
Not even deleted scenes. He left the receipt in the jacket that he took.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That too.
They
Which
took,
is,
they took his receipt.
Damn.
I do love that shot of like the limousine backing up the drive.
Yeah.
So something that's not clear to me, and I want to know what y'all think about this. At the end of the movie, when he comes home and the mask is sitting
Yeah.
on the pillow,
Mhm.
did she find the mask and leave it out for him? Or did someone break in his fucking house
Right.
and put that mask there? And what makes me think she found it is when he starts sobbing
Mhm.
and breaking down to her, she doesn't seem surprised. She's not like,
Mhm.
oh my God, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
Which kind of implies to me that she found the mask
Yeah.
and left it out for him. Like, hey, motherfucker,
Yeah.
I found this in your shit.
Yeah.
What's this about?
Yeah. And she's smart. She's not stupid. I've gone back and forth on that, but I've landed on that.
I think that's what's going on too.
Yeah.
The other implication is that
The
someone
cult
broke in their fucking
yeah.
house.
Right. To warn him.
So like,
We can
like,
get you
dude, we
anywhere.
are doing everything we can to not fucking kill you right
Right.
now.
Right. And I love how it's very 50-50. Like you said, if it's just a story about a relationship that's like an infidelity and possible trust and all that stuff, then yeah, she found it and she put it there. And that's the message. Is like, you can't hide this and you need to come clean. The other implication is the cult, which I think is equally as possible, you know what I mean? And equally as terrifying. So yeah, I like how he leads it. Okay.
Should we get into some of the conspiracy theories about the making of the movie thing?
I'm ready if y'all are.
Mhm.
So me and Chance watched this like a year ago.
Mhm.
Actually, that
It was in
I've
the
seen this
summer.
movie like 3.5 times.
Yeah.
Because we watched it like almost to the day. We watched this a year ago.
Yeah.
Which is funny, dude. It's funny how different our lives are now versus then.
From then,
right?
yeah,
Like,
it's very nice. It's very nice.
but I remember watching it with you, and
Yeah.
you pointed out something. I'll let you take it from here. Actually, do you remember what I'm
I don't know.
say?
No, 'cause now I'm
The
getting-
last scene.
Oh yeah, the last scene. So
So you go ahead. I'll be right back.
in that final scene, and like I'd seen it a couple times before this like caught my attention and registered. But like the last probably minute shot where they're in the toy store and they Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise like turn to face each other and they're talking and they're doing that final kind of delivery, and you see their daughter kind of like ushered away in the background with these two men in black basically, and it's like they turn to focus on their relationship, and the let's fuck line essentially is where that culminates. And at the same time, they've completely lost interest in their child, and she's just being ushered away by potentially what I think could be the cult. I mean, I look at this whole film as the cult behind everything. Mostly, you know, I go back and forth with a lot of stuff, but in the end, I kind of land on that. And it seems like that the symbolism of that is that while they've become so focused on their relationship, their child is completely just not being paid attention to and being taken away essentially. That's one of the shots that I feel like implies again the cyclical nature of like the abuse and you know the sex trafficking and stuff like that. And then the weird stuff about the orgy scene and the stuff that was cut out, and the fact that he died like 6 days before it was released. And you know, it's I mean, there's a lot of weird mythology about this guy in Hollywood specifically, but you know, if he did shoot something and they did cut it out, I mean, it seems like he was trying to say something. I don't know, but just the mind control stuff, the MK Ultra stuff sticks out way more for me now than it ever did. But yeah, the little girl being abducted seems like just the commentary on the cyclical nature of it and the fact that we're just so distracted by sex in America.
I am convinced that the last scene when they're in the toy store
Yeah.
taking their daughter Christmas shopping, and they're having this like coming back together, like our relationship's better than ever.
Right.
And they're like so focused on each other. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
the daughter seemingly is walking away with these two spooks, like these like men in black. And it's like, I am convinced that's exactly what happened is right after the movie ends, the part we don't see is them realizing where's our daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
they've got
think that scene is what got Kubrick killed. Because that's the child abduction stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part they don't really talk about it in the theatrical release at all. Now you told me another thing, I think it was you, that when dude comes to the gate and gives him the letter,
Oh yeah.
go ahead.
There was supposed to be more written in the letter, and it specifically targeted the child. It said something about like, we'll take your daughter. Or
Well,
what
no,
was
I think
it?
it was initially like just the name of his daughter,
Yeah.
So they
and they
brought
took
up
that out.
Yeah.
it was, yeah, you're the one who told me about this. They brought up the name of the daughter in the letter they bring out in the theatrical release,
Mhm.
they name him by name,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but they don't specifically threaten his child,
Right.
right?
Right.
And now that does change the context of the movie a little bit,
Mhm.
because it's like, if you're given this letter that's threatening your child,
Yeah.
and you continue to look into this,
Yeah.
instead of prioritizing the safety of your kid,
Right.
that's like a deeper level of like, fuck you.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you're such a piece of shit.
Yeah. And it speaks to probably his actual character arc, which is like, you're an idiot. You're
Such an
continuing to
idiot.
chase this person that you were like sort of weirdly sexually obsessed with, and that you saw naked even after she's dead. And then he sees her like naked body on the slab. Yeah, it does. It makes it so much worse.
It does. And, but I am convinced that is what happens at the end. I think the most important scene in the movie is that like last 5 seconds,
Yeah.
like that last minute of the movie.
Yeah.
And I think that is the kind of thing that would get past pre-screening.
Right.
That's the kind of thing that would get past people watching it, but would eventually get caught.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so subtle. And it's like, again, it's like, okay, you're looking over here. You're looking
Mhm.
over here at the Bohemian Grove shit that you don't notice this very subtle, I'm bringing up the child abduction stuff right at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it gets past pre-screening. It gets to theatrical release. Everyone is fucking, because it's Kubrick.
Yeah.
It's
art,
Stanley
man.
Kubrick,
It's art. Yeah.
like the biggest director, the biggest rock star director in history.
Yeah.
Just dropped a movie with Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, it's okay to showcase the fucking costume scene.
Oh, true.
Well, that's the thing
No,
is
good
that
point. Good point.
you have that, and there's this weird kind of like, well, this is a child, but maybe not. I mean, he has her dressed up like an adult. Yeah. Again, that makes it that much more
that's-
terrible.
But that's
because
ratchet. Like,
he's
this is high
conditioning-
society.
But
Yeah.
because he made the scene humorous and like,
Right, and it's in the
Maybe
middle of the
it's-
film. It's like he's warming you up for the ending, where it's like, this is what's actually happening.
yeah,
I see what you're saying. What to clarify better on what I'm saying, I think that there is a group of people doing stuff like that, and they don't care if people know about the pageantry,
Mhm.
like the orgies and the masks.
Right.
They don't care if people know about that,
yeah, for sure.
but they don't want people knowing that this is a pedophile human
Right.
trafficking thing.
Yeah.
Right,
And so it's okay to point out how like this dad in the costume shop is abusing his daughter, but what they don't want you to know is that at this highest level of upper echelon, like
Well, yeah.
Fortune 500 companies and politicians and
people are letting their children
Hollywood
be taken.
celebrities, that they're involved in some like
Yeah, because
satanic.
during that time,
child
I can
abuse.
see how that's like very like scandalous and
Yeah.
not talked about. But I guess now it would be funny.
And Stanley Kubrick, if we want to get like deep down that rabbit hole, like with
Mhm.
moon landing shit.
Yep.
Like
Working
it's
for
like
the CIA.
it's quite possible that Kubrick was personally privy to some very high level society shit.
Mhm.
Mm,
So it might mean something for like specifically him to be saying all this shit is like, well, okay, like my granddad was a Freemason. He was like a high level Freemason.
Mhm.
And he was telling me, it's like, well, you make an oath that if you ever talk about this, it is expected that we're gonna come up and slit your throat. And he even told me, it's like, I mean, that shit doesn't happen, and all that shit's on the internet at this point. It doesn't
Right.
matter.
Right.
But you did sign up for that.
Right.
So hypothetically, if Kubrick went and made this movie, it's almost like by like it's expected for him to get killed.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think maybe Kubrick was like not just like investigative, like was personally privy
Probably.
to some of these events
Yeah.
that take place, because these things do happen. To
Oh,
be
yeah.
clear.
Oh,
Like
100%. Yeah.
these things
All the time.
exist. He was bringing attention to a thing. The question is, was this a subject he was interested in as a filmmaker because it's just a fascinating subject, or does Kubrick know some shit directly?
Mhm.
Maybe even people involved, like
Yeah.
names.
Because it's such a weird, detailed movie.
Yes.
So weird detailed.
Yeah. And it seems like that, I mean, he's trying to tell us not only are these things going on, but like, if you're not, if you turn a blind eye to it, you're complicit in it. He's not giving us a solution to it. That's what's interesting about it, is it's just saying, hey, this is here and this has been going on for a long time. Go back to.
I guess the
20s and
point
30s.
is just to like say something. I know
Say
in a way.
something.
In
Yes.
a way.
Yeah. Because each individual is complicit just strengthens the chain, you know what I mean? Whereas, I mean,
It's so
each
easy.
one of us
to,
that
like,
says something about it, even if it's just, yeah, and even if it's learning to say something to your own abuser. You
yeah,
know?
like fear. Okay, like
Yeah.
the whole message is like fear and how it like controls us
Mhm.
in a way too. And I know that like they're very dangerous people, and that's very scary. But like, I don't know, we all have instances in our life where. Because it's kind of it's tricky. It's
Mhm.
tricky. It depends on what degree of it, but I feel like definitely if you like, especially the costume shop, if you see shit like that, you need to say something. You need to
Like that part is
Yeah.
just as fucked up as
Yeah.
whatever they got going on.
You are a part of the problem.
And what makes it so disturbing is she doesn't seem like she is in any way distressed about it.
Yeah, she doesn't
So
know.
she's obviously been conditioned to be that way, you
Yeah.
know, and then that's even more disturbing. So yeah, it's.
No, but really, I really feel like this film was a lot about preconditioning and repressing
Mhm.
all that shit, especially with the women. I know it doesn't like showcase male victims in a way, and it's very women
No, as it should
fear
be though.
targeted, not in negative, like, well, yeah, targeted towards like showcasing women in very sexualized images, and I feel like that's so important because it's statistically like more likely to happen to women,
Mm.
but like statistically speaking, like it's such a huge thing that I feel like should be talked about more,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
all the time, because like statistically I feel like we have the highest human trafficking of all time as of now.
Yeah. There's more slaves in the world today than it ever has.
It's gotten
Yeah.
worse
And-
since this movie came out.
And it's so, and the preconditioning, which is something that is, I feel like, sorry if I'm talking away from the
No,
front or what we
You're
were talking
fine.
about before, but like preconditioning is so like big. Like there are victims out there that don't even know they're victims.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and that
So-
goes back
And
to
that
her,
is so
her
fucking
attitude
sad.
in that shop is that she doesn't even
Yeah.
realize. that
And
she's
like
a
that makes me
victim.
think that Nicole Kidman's character is a fucking victim because like she has all like the quirks of like
trauma response. Yeah.
because like not to like throw my own personal, but like I had very like these quirks that I was like, why do I do this? I must be a bad person, but like no, I'm doing this out of a defense mechanism that I learned from trauma.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like I just the movie is such a big deal. Like people just really need to like, pay attention and like talk about it.
I think your perspective on this is extremely important to this conversation,
Mhm.
and I appreciate you saying that. Because what that reminds me of, I don't mean to cut you off. Are you done?
No, yeah, I'm good.
So what you are making me think of is there's this thing called karmic law, and like I know at least y'all have heard me talk about this. So if you buy a pack of cigarettes, and I promise you we'll get, I'm not going to derail too hard. We'll get back to this. I'm not going to do this too long. If you buy a carton of cigarettes, it has a disclaimer, this is going to give you cancer. That absolves the cigarette company of any culpability of you getting cancer because they told you, right? Okay, well, there's a malicious, okay, so is Kubrick trying to tell us something? Or is Kubrick complicit? Because Chance, you just made a really good point. These numbers have risen since Eyes Wide Shut came out, right? And you made a good point, Cheyenne, about how preconditioning is super important. So now anyone who's seen this movie is preconditioned for this. Did it open your eyes or did it make this feel mundane? So it's like
Yeah.
Double-edged sword.
sometimes, so it's like, is Kubrick a good guy or is Kubrick a bad guy? Because he did show us this,
Yes.
but did he show us this to teach us something? Or did he show us this to desensitize us? Oh, that's in a movie. That's not real.
No,
That's
no,
not-
no. I
that
genuinely
hurts.
think
That
he.
sucks,
I
'cause
think he died for this fucking movie. I think he knew exact because all the details in this movie. He genuinely, like those shots. Yeah, especially like the harrowing shot that you talked about with the girl. He purposefully really wanted to nail that in.
It seems like there's
'Cause that-
feeling behind it.
it
It
is
feels like
sickening.
that there's
I think
his
so
feeling
too, but there's
behind
like a 1% of me.
There's
That's
probably
like-
he
That's a
probably had
really interesting
instances.
point, dude.
Maybe he was
And
like
he was probably compromised is the thing. He
Exactly.
probably had been complicit in the past, felt terrible about it, was conflicted about it, and had
There's
to go
guilt.
along
There,
to make
Kubrick,
his
Yeah.
career.
Kubrick feels
A
guilty.
lot of guilt. a lot
Kubrick
of guilt
feels really
in there.
guilty.
Yeah,
about
agreed.
this.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes. Like
He feels responsible, like he has to say
yes.
something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
but I feel like he generally died for this film.
Yeah.
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 So I think you're onto something, Chance, and you too, Cheyenne. Is like he is trying to do something good, but he feels guilty.
Mhm.
He feels responsible, and now he has to do something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it cost him his life. I do
Yeah.
think that's what happened.
Because it's so
Yeah.
realistic, you wouldn't have context for that unless you just. Yeah.
I also think there's no way that he was like a major player in these secret societies, because why would they allow the movie to get as far along as it did, no, much less get made, and then like 6 days before it came out, be like, oh, let's get him now,
Sure.
like that. It just seems confusing. I do agree if Kubrick was like exposed to this high society like sex cultism, I don't think he enjoyed it, and I think that's pretty clear just from the movie itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that too. Who
Yeah.
knows?
That's all I had.
And that's all like again, it's a heavy movie, like there's a lot to it. You know, it's a weird one because it's a Christmas film, you know, by all standards of measurement. It happens at Christmas.
Only
you know.
technically.
Yeah,
Kind of like
exactly.
Die Hard. only
That's what I'm
technically.
saying is like, you know, this is the
Mhm.
this is the Die Hard debate. Is this a Christmas movie or not? But
I'm
it's
sorry.
it's very important. I agree with you, and it speaks to a lot of different things, and like especially if you have like personal experience with any of this kind of stuff that happens in this movie, any kind of essay stuff or any of that, like you know, obviously like find help that you can. Good friends is a good thing, but that's not the best solution. Therapists are always really great for that kind of thing. But yeah, it spoke to me before I had those kinds of experiences, and I didn't know why, and it spoke to me afterwards in ways that made me understand what it was trying to say the first time I saw it, if that makes sense.
If I may say one last thing, when I first watched this film, I believe I was like really kind of young. I was a teenager,
Mhm.
and initially I have been through a lot of like really not great experiences, and I took the film as like it is what it is.
Mhm.
Very, very nihilistic, very like just negative, because I was like, oh, certain things happened to me and nobody did anything about it. But watching it again, it's like, no, like you can't, like that you can do something about this.
Yeah.
You really can do something about this.
And I see what you're saying about the two different ways that you can see that. Like you can take it as like, wow, that's incredibly bleak, even to the last line of the film. But like, yeah, and that's the reason that like for me, I can't like I don't look at things like this that most people think of as like dark or depressing. Like I look at it as a way to get like a positive message out of it for myself, which is like, yeah, don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't be that looker away.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been times where I haven't. So, you know, it's good to know that that's true. Yeah.
He definitely could have called Child Protective Services, and he should have.
Yeah. And stopped his
He
quest
should have
right
stopped.
then.
Yeah, fuck whatever's going on with these Hollywood elite.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you
Like
walk-
your own daughter.
Exactly.
Think of
Yeah,
your
he
own
has
fucking
it,
And
daughter.
at no point does that enter into his
Yeah,
like
why does that
he
not
never
register?
thinks it.
process.
He's too busy worrying about a situation with his fantasizing.
Yeah, like a hypothetical situation.
She's like,
Hypo-
oh, she was gonna save me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too fixated on. He's like playing the scenario of his wife fucking this Navy guy that didn't even.
And he's
fucking-
justifying it.
Didn't even
He's
happen.
It
justifying
didn't
it.
even happen, and he's justifying it, and he's like, he doesn't even care
Mhm.
what's happening to this little girl in the costume shop because he's so fixated on the woman in the mask that saved him
Mhm.
and this party that's going on. He doesn't give a fuck about the little girl that's like he could have helped her.
Yeah. By halfway through the film, you realize that he's got his blinders on. You hope that he does. You keep thinking, like you said, the first time you see it, you keep thinking, well, there's going to be a resolution. He's going to get to the bottom of this or something. And then it's like, no, there is no bottom. That last scene with Ziegler is so great because, again, it's like, that's how ritual magic and deception works. They tell you exactly what they're doing. Then they tell you it's a fucking joke. And they're like, well, you believe me, right? That wasn't really a sacrifice, you know? And it's like, we, the people, have to go, yeah, no, you're right. It's fake. It's all fake. Meanwhile, CERN's fucking splitting the atom and making parallel universes and shit.
Yeah. And then like on a more mundane level, like the same thing without even getting to the
Right.
ritual, like just abusers.
Yeah.
Is like, oh, I didn't abuse you. You wanted this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So it gets down to like, again, Kubrick is showing you he's showing you like an abusive parent. He's showing you just like street prostitutes. He's showing you upper echelon, high
Mhm.
society, but it's all the same thing.
right.
They all have the same method of doing this. It's hypnosis, gaslighting, and
And
drugs.
fear. Yeah.
And fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a dark one, but Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas
Christmas.
is a good season. We love you guys. I'm really happy to have friends. And you know, I think there was a debate on what the proper first Christmas film was. Like, I think we were gonna do Die Hard, but then we didn't. So
Yeah, me and Lazy have been talking about
A Wonderful Life was on the
It's
table,
a
which I
Wonderful-
love. And that would be the polar opposite to this film, because some
Yeah.
people think that it's just completely saccharine and devoid of all feeling. But for me, I don't feel that way about it. I get a lot
Yeah.
out of it.
me and Lazy had been going back and forth about It's a Wonderful Life and Die Hard. And then I asked him, I'm like, okay, hey, we got to announce what we're doing next month. And I expected one of those two, and he said Eyes Wide Shut, and I'm like, oh shit,
Perfect,
okay,
Perfect.
all right, bet.
Yeah, but really, this is the polar opposite of It's a Wonderful Life, if you think about it, like as far as like holiday, you know, sentiment and like what makes that a real thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I do love it. I'm glad that Kubrick got this film made. I'm glad that it got past everything. I'm glad that it destroyed Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
Yeah,
That was the real point.
at
of
least
the
there's
film.
a
Yeah,
at least
That's what
there's a
he's really
silver
trying to
lining.
do.
yeah, exactly. It just showed us how crazy he was, because that was really like that's when the cracks in his like public persona kind of started to appear, was after this, and then she left him, and then it's like, yeah, no, he's a little crazy, isn't he? Like, and again, going back to the Bohemian Grove with Jeffrey Epstein stuff, none of that was common knowledge at this time, but
Yeah.
now it's literally become a meme, partially because of this. So
Yeah, it's a little bit prophetic, right?
yeah,
Because it has a certain context now,
yeah,
like extremely culturally significant when it came out, but it has a cultural significance now that it didn't before.
Yeah.
Ah, you know what's crazy? I think it was happening throughout. When was this movie made again?
99.
99.
Yeah.
No, it was literally happening before and after that. And actually, there's like, if you watch a documentary on it, he would wear like masks. It was like, or no, Epstein.
During this
shit.
time.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Maybe because of
So-
this movie. Is that what you're saying?
Or it was something that they
Wow.
were doing beforehand. that
New
we just-
York.
Yeah.
Epstein was New York. You know?
Whoa.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of
Don't you mean Mossad?
so.
Chance, you
Yeah.
can't say that.
I didn't say anything.
Jedi
I
tricks don't
sneezed.
work
I
on me,
sneezed.
only money.
It's science fiction, man.
Yeah, I just find that pretty crazy that that just clicked just now. But yeah,
So does anybody have any final thoughts? Something that they didn't get touched on that they want to talk about? Or any...
We hit it good.
Evan, you got anything?
Nah, nothing over here, man. We hit all the points I was thinking about.
I think we'll probably wrap it up there then.
Cool.
yeah, brilliant movie.
One more thing, Alan Cummings' performance in the single
Oh,
scene
yeah.
that Alan Cummings in is just phenomenal.
That I was looking at comments earlier
Oh.
on this, and Alan Cummings was a topic of discussion.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, shout out to Alan Cummings. Yeah, you know, Alan Cummings, big fan of Rhetoric Rabbit Hole. I know you're watching this. Shout out to you, homie.
Great actor.
Yeah, friend of the podcast, Alan Cummings.
You're gonna kill it in Avengers Doomsday, buddy. Bring back Nightcrawler. All right.
Oh, he was Nightcrawler.
He's coming back.
Oh shit.
He's coming
He's
back as
also in the
Nightcrawler.
movie Titus, which is we're gonna do that
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
I hope. And also Spy Kids.
This is true.
He's the main bad guy in the first Spy Kids movie
This
with
is
all the
true.
hands on his head.
Uh,
What a great actor. Alan Cummings is
Very
awesome.
underrated. Very
Yeah.
underrated. Agreed.
And like,
Do you think we can get him for next episode?
you know, I'm sure I can talk to his agent and pull some strings. Oh, speaking of next episode, thank you, Evan. Next month, our pick is from Winston Huddle of Winston Existence.
Oh dear God.
Ironically, and I
no,
swear to God, if you think we plan this ahead of time, we don't. The next movie is called Come and See, which is like funny coming off of Eyes Wide Shut,
Okay.
which is a whenever you look up most fucked up exploitation films,
Oh dear God.
which there's a lot.
Of course.
There's a lot of them. When you look up the most fucked up movies of all time, Come and See is near the top of that list because of fucking course went and picked the movie.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, it's very
tracks on so many
Winston.
levels.
So it's gonna be, just disclaimer, it is gonna be fucking heavy. It is going to be very dark, and I
No.
definitely can't watch this alone. So I'm hoping we can all watch this together.
Our
Probably
movie
a
nights
chance
have
to
been
sell.
going pretty well, so
Yeah.
we'll do this one
Yeah.
again.
It's not gonna be a good
I'm
time.
gonna bring gummy bears.
Yeah, we need all this like the sweets
make
we can
dinner.
get. This is gonna be very bitter.
It's gonna be great.
And while I'm on that note, we're also doing a book club next week.
Yeah.
We're talking about the second Dark Tower book, The Drawing of the Three, which is funny because it's Stephen King, and they reference the movie, specifically the movie, The Shining, in that book,
Mhm.
which is closely tied with obviously the discussion we're having tonight, Eyes Wide Shut. Both of those movies directed by Stanley Kubrick. So I didn't plan any of this. This just happened this way, which is kind of crazy.
This is how the universe works. The synchronicity is real.
Yeah. But Lazy, thanks for card wrangling tonight. I think you did a great job.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
What was it, the car?
The car, yeah. Like a wheel. Car like a wind. Yeah.
But that's all I had.
Sweet. This was a good one. Good night, Alice. We love you.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time.
Indeed.
Oh,
Definitely talking backwards.